Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Pentiment. Last time we left off, we just finished having lunch with Otto and Indris. And our journal says, lunch is done. It was nice catching up with Otto and Indris. It was about time I head back to the scriptorium to work on the Book of Hours. So, one thing I want to do before that, I just kind of want to explore around really quickly. Just to see if I can find any more hints to what I'm supposed to be doing in the cemetery, and also just see if I can talk to anyone. So, I have a little bit of extra time today, so I think now is a fine time to kind of poke around and see what I can find out. So, anything interesting I'll of course show, but most of the time I'm just going to be futzing about here. This is new. Hi. What's going on here? God bless you, Andreas. Hello, Brother Matthew. What are you doing out here? I thought you were aware that in addition to my role as Kiersau's sacrist, I tend to the shrine of St. Moritz. He is the patron of Tassing and Kiersau both, so it is my duty to ensure his reliquary is well cared for. The shrine is always beautifully kept. Whenever I visit, I always leave inspired. The martyrdom of St. Moritz provides inspiration to us all. You are familiar with the life of St. Moritz, are you not? I've been so focused on my masterpiece I never had the moment. I'm afraid I don't make a habit of learning about every saint I come across. Let's be nice. I've been so focused on my masterpiece I haven't had a moment. Well, you ought to learn something about Tassing's patron saint while you're here. Learn something? By all means. St. Moritz is most widely known for his martyrdom at the hand of the Romans. Yeah, I mean, we have learned about this by looking at our little Libris. He protected a town of Christians from slaughter, and in turn, he and his legion were decimated. What do you mean, his legion? Wouldn't that mean he was a Roman soldier? Yeah, protected a town of Christians from slaughter, and in turn, he and his legion were decimated. Yeah. Yes, he was a Roman citizen and led a legion made up entirely of Christians into Bavaria. Powerful duchy in the southeastern Holy Roman Empire, it is east of Swabia and north of Tyrol. Tassing and Kiersau sit in the extreme south of the duchy, near the border with Tyrol. Yeah, so he was a Roman citizen and led a legion made up of entirely Christians. When he refused to kill the Christians, even though they were traitors to Rome, the emperor had his legion massacred. This is interesting. This reminds me of, I forget which crusade it was. I want to say it was the 3rd, 4th, 5th, one of the later crusades. There was a crusade that was launched. I obviously don't remember which pope it was or anything, but the crusade launched, and the Christians started, you know, their way down to the Iberian Peninsula and stuff to go do their crusade. And basically they got tired, and they just decided to sack Constantinople instead. They were like, Greek Orthodoxy, they're not really Christians, right? We can just sack Constantinople. It's fine. It's fine. And then they sacked Constantinople. Christians sacked Christians. Just different sects. Basically, that I always thought that's like one of the. It's funny now. Probably like it's just kind of interesting to look back on the time and be like, huh. So they basically got tired of walking all the way down there and were just like, you know what, let's just sack Constantinople instead. It's right here, you know, then we can get back and everything will be great. It's just one of those interesting things with the Crusades. Because a lot of the time the Crusades were just about, like, you know, getting money, and a lot of people that were taking place in the Crusades were kind of like a lot of mercenaries and things like that, because you could get paid for it, so. Most of the pilgrims who visit come knowing only this, if anything, about his life. However, Tassing venerates St. Moritz because he was the one to convert the town and save it from destruction. Tassing was pagan. I had no idea the town was so old. Yeah, no, we know the town is that old. Indeed, he and his legion were snowed into this pass. And the townsfolk refused to aid them. The daughter of the town's leader, Sasha, was moved in spirit and snuck from the town to convert. She led Moritz to a spring, and as soon as she was baptized, the snow melted, revealing all manner of fruits. Moritz and his legion were saved by these miraculous gifts. The town was converted, and the rebels fled into the mountains. Interesting. So yeah, Legion came here. This was a pagan town. They were converted. He baptized the Seisha, and then, you know, this miracle happened where the snow melted and then a bunch of fruit were revealed, so they had stuff to eat. Interesting. So how did Mordred's hand end up in Tassing? That all sounds a bit far-fetched. What happened to Seisha? She, too, was martyred for her faith by the rebels inhabiting the town. Now her shrine protects Tassing from harm. What an astounding story. Thank you for the history lesson, Brother Matthew. Yeah, I mean, that was very interesting. You are welcome, Master Maler. God bless you. Until later, brother. Yeah, I mean, that was an interesting story, just kind of finding out about the background here. So, yeah. Hello, Carl. Oh, hello, Andreas. Hello, Carl. You seem busier than usual today. I handled my work. Went up to the shrine of St. Moritz this morning to pray for his aid. The candle I lit all but burned away. I was there so long. Now I need to catch up. Dedication to St. Moritz is impressive. If I'm ever in church that long, I must have fallen asleep. I mean, fair. Fair, also me. You go to the shrine very often. I usually go every autumn for a good harvest. Now that Helena's pregnant, I've tried to go pray every week. Her mother had trouble in childbirth, so I've been paying visits to Moritz's hand and Seisha's shrine to pray for their aid. Better off preparing for the child than praying to the saints. You really think the saints will hear you? I mean, yes, but also I'm not just gonna insult you to your face. Let's be nice. I mean, I'm not gonna insult you. I hope that the saints hear your prayers. Thank you, Andreas. So do I. There's no reason for me to be a dick. So, alright, so we could get into the convent garden. So yeah, there were some new things there. So yeah, I should explore as much as I possibly can. So let's go see what else I can get into. Alright, I went to the convent and there wasn't really anything over there, but we do have a few interesting things in here. Brother Matthew maintains the shrine along with some of the sisters who paint badges for pilgrims. Yeah, and then there's the hand. A reliquary containing the hand of St. Moritz, which is said to have once held the Holy Lance. Yeah, cool. Well, it's neat. This is a cool little shrine and all that. Relics are cool. Alright, I went around and looked just about everywhere, talked to everyone, except for the people in the scriptorium, obviously. And nothing else really came up. I didn't do anything. I checked out the cemetery again just to make sure there was nothing there. I can't go through the path of the crypt or anything like that, so I just wanted to run back through those things and make sure I didn't miss anything. So, hello everyone. I'm back. Hello, Prior. Just gonna watch us all do our work. Brother Adok, this work, I don't know where to start. Inconsistent spacing, rough strokes. You're working like you want to see this place closed. Brother Prior, I am working to the best of my abilities, and I dispute your criticism. I may not be fast, but I still have my talent, praise be to God. Yeah, you're just pissed off because we're not making enough money. And yeah, this I believe is pronounced Guy. And Brother Guy, why are you still on this page? What's wrong with you? Normally you're so reliable. Many apologies, Brother Prior. I will work harder. You just want things done fast. Piero, I can't believe this. Baron Vothvogel has come to check on his progress, and this is all you have? You should have finished this months ago. Is your mind so corrupted by age that you didn't notice the seasons have changed? Well, you're not the one who will have to answer for it, so why should you care? Typical. God, shut up, Ferenc. Stop taking your frustrations out on an old man. Oh, God, I can get sassy. I can get sassy. Oh, man. I can get very sassy. I don't know if that's the best choice, but... Excuse me, Friar Frink, but I believe your point is made. Andreas, I will remind you that I am master of the scriptorium and you are a guest here. I agree, Brother Prior. Brother Piero's work is unacceptably slow. Guy, shut up! You're insufferable, Brother Guy. Oh God, give me the patience to endure this. Please, everyone. This is my work, and I accept responsibility for it. Prior Frink is right. Oh God, here's the Baron. Got two people that don't like me. You don't like me, and you don't like me. And you're a slime ball. Prior Frink, is this mine? It must be, yes. It is, my lord. I can explain. No, I don't want excuses. I've come all this way, and I have to be honest. I expected more. It's nowhere near finished, and the style is... well, it's very old-fashioned. Thought I made my desires clear. I feel like my generosity towards Kiersau is being taken advantage of. Am I the fool in this sad story? No, of course, my lord, never. We can fix this, of course. Of course, we only want to accommodate you. Ah, Andreas, good to see you again. How should I respond to this? The Abbot already seems annoyed. Just nod, don't irritate the Abbot. Simply addressing him as my lord would be appropriate. Greet him with his Christian name, you and our brothers and comrades in art. No, I don't think that would be a good call. Addressing him as my lord would be appropriate. Just nod. Still, that might offend the Baron. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. We'll just say, my lord. I guess. We'll be respectful, I suppose. Father, no. Why not have Andreas complete the rest of the illustrations? He's clearly capable. Well, my lord, why not have Brother Guy complete it, if speed is your No, I'm not talking about the script, that's fine, but the art, the illustrations. I want Andreas to do the others. Of course, I mean, if Andreas is alright with it. Takes pressure off of Brother Piero, I'd be delighted. Ah, well, Abbot, I'm trying to finish my masterpiece at the moment. Well, I'll do what I have to do. I do want to take pressure off of Piero. Of course, I am trying to finish my own masterpiece. I am trying to finish my own masterpiece. I imagine you're gonna get pissy if I say no, though. Probably. If it takes the pressure off of Brother Piero, I'd be delighted to complete the work. Of course, I don't know, maybe that would make Piero sad. I don't really care about making you two happy. Or you, quite frankly. But I feel like you're just gonna be like, no, work on it if I say I'm trying to finish my masterpiece at the moment. They'll be like, you can do more work. We'll just say if it takes the pressure. There we have it. I hope this allays your concerns, my lord. Excellent. By the way, Father Abbot, am I still welcome at your table for supper? Naturally, my lord. Wonderful. I'd like Andreas to join us. My lord, I've already made supper plans with the Drucker family in town. Or say nothing. I mean, I can't turn down a request from the lord, right? This will absolutely piss you off. But I really have already made plans. Nonsense, you can eat with him any day. I'm only here for the evening. Damn it. Can't you stop being an asshole for 2 minutes? Well, father? Well, that would be quite unusual. Unusual or not, I doubt my good friend the Prince Bishop would deny additional guests at the table. What do you think? Why do you like me so much? I understand. Yes, you're right, of course. Andreas may join us for supper. I look forward to it. I don't like that you are so obsessed with me. I just got roped into so many things. Yeah, that's right, Prior. You had this planned. What? You must have put your hook in the Baron this morning when you ambushed him in town. Oh, go to hell, Farink. Ooh, why are you so mad at me? I'm trying to help. That's beyond ridiculous. Listen to yourself. I'm gonna say that's beyond ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. Listen to yourself. Brother Prior, Andreas is not to blame for any of this. I am. Yes, you are, and you've embarrassed me, the Abbot, and the Abbey. Prior Farink is right, of course. No wonder we don't get more commissions. Shut up! Guy, can you stop flattering the Prior for 1 minute? You're so insincere and you're so obvious about it. Or Guy, sorry. So insincere and you're so obvious about it, Guy. If anyone's the embarrassment here, it's you, Farink. Yeah, I mean, all you're doing is walking around telling us to work harder and faster. You know what? You're being a dick to me. Screw you. I'm tired of being nice. Brothers. If you please, Sister Zadina and I would prefer it if you keep the noise down. It sounds like Samson slaying the Philistines in here. Of course. Back to work, everyone. Dick. Well, that was not wonderful, but there's nothing to be done about it now. I'll finish my work here and wash up in the lavatorium for supper at the Abbot's table. This is going to go well. Oh god. Oh god. More pages. Supper at the Abbot's table. Great. So, I'm guessing I'm just going over there. The courtyard and lavatorium's where I gotta go. Let's go check out everybody else eating first, though. I think that's probably a good call, yeah. So let's go check out everybody else. So I gotta get through the refectory, which I can get through here. Can't believe I've gotta go sit at the Abbot's table. I'm tired of this asshole being so obsessed with me. I had plans with other people, and now I'm just going to, like, blow them off, and they're not going to be very happy about that, and I will be sad. Should wash my hands in the courtyard lavatorium before going to supper. Oh yeah, that's why we're going over here. That is right. Okay, so, yeah, you don't want me going in there. Okay, let's go. Piero. Andreas, I'm so glad you'll be joining us for supper, though the circumstances are unusual to be sure. I won't be able to speak with you, none of the brothers will, but it will be good to have you with us. That's a shame, I always enjoy our talks. Now, the same doesn't apply to you at the Abbot's table, you can talk all you like. Though I wouldn't recommend it. Father Abbot does not look kindly on idle chatter. But I'll make a fool of myself. These men are far above my station. Wish you could take my place, Brother Piero. You deserve the honor. Supper with an abbot and a nobleman, I could get used to this. I wish you could take my place, Brother Piero. You deserve the honor. Anyway, I'm sorry for how the prior treated you. It's not fair. It's humiliating. Oh, no, my son. There's no need to worry about me or my pride. And we all need a taste of humility from time to time to keep our feet on this earth. No, Andreas, you are my pride. Cannot claim to have taught you much, but I am proud to have known you and your work. And when you leave all of us at Kiersau Abbey behind, you can call upon your friend Lorenz the Baron Rothvogel to help you in your career. He's wrong, you know. Farink is wrong about you being slow. Nothing wrong with your style. It's not old just because a nobleman says so. Don't trouble yourself over it. Time passes for us all. Things change, the future will right over the present. This is true. You need not fear at any of it, so long as you remain true to yourself and God. Now I must hurry to the refectory to join my brothers. I will see you inside. Piero is so nice. Makes me feel extra bad that everybody's just an asshat to you. Oh. Alright, well, let's get over here. And I'm not supposed to talk, really. But I'm sure Rothvogel's gonna want me to talk, so... Here we are. Andreas, glad you could join us. Thank you, my lord. Father Gounod, Father Thomas, Prior Farink. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." "Oh, the Gospel of Matthew, wonderful." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." Have you read Matthew much, Andreas? Some, yes. Ahem. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Yeah, I guess we weren't supposed to talk, huh? But screw them, I don't like them anyway. He ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. That reminds me, Father Gurneau, have you read anything by Martin Luther? I can't say that I... He has some incredible ideas about the church. Brilliant, I think. My lord, is the meal to your liking? I believe I remember you enjoying our quail on your last visit. Yeah, you don't like to talk about Martin Luther, do you? And they're all surprised. The quail? My god, Father Abbot, the quail's fine, but don't you think Luther's ideas are worth discussing? He's talking about the future of the church, shaking things up in a way I don't think we've seen before. Father Thomas, you see value in his ideas, do you not? My lord, I mean no offense, but I do not. Brother Matthew, yes? How appropriate. What are your thoughts on Luther's attacks on the church's sale of indulgences? Baron, please do not involve the other brothers in this conversation. Fine, fine. What about Andreas? Certainly a man who attended the same university as Martin Luther can spare some thoughts on his work. Remain silent. Yeah, he's really putting me on the spot here. He's really putting me on the spot. I don't have any allegiance to the Priors or anything, really. I'm a guest here, but who cares? Everyone seems very unhappy about the idea of me talking about Martin Luther, though. Except for Lucas. Lucas doesn't really seem too surprised. Everyone else seems extremely concerned, though. Even Sebat. Which someone mentioned, Sebat's just in a totally different art style, which I think is really, really cool. Let's see. He's really putting me in a difficult position. Yeah. I'm not joining the debate. May bring everyone closer to understanding truth. I need to be quiet. I don't know what else to do. To hell with the abbot. If he can't handle a little criticism, he isn't fit to sit at the fancy table. I kind of agree, actually. Being quiet would probably be the best thing to do to make them happy, but... doesn't seem like the most prudent attitude at the moment. I mean, I'm imagining the jester's attitude is never going to be the most prudent one. Certainly a man who attended the same university as Martin Luther can spare some thoughts on his work. I mean... I am interested in talking about this. But everyone seems like they're saying I should not talk about this. Yeah, everyone seems not very happy. So the problem here is I either piss off everyone I live with, or I piss off Rothvogel by not talking about it. But Rothvogel could just be baiting me to get me in trouble. Potentially. Rothvogel's a scumbag, so you could just be baiting me. But... we're not gonna be a goody two-shoes. Why not? Where should we start? Ah, a debate. Excellent. Why not start with the 95 Theses? Enough. Andreas, you should know better. Lord Rothvogel, you are our guest and held in high esteem, but you have worn out my patience. You will not be discussing Luther's work with Andreas, Thomas, Matthew, or with any other brother. Is that clear? You're really not happy? I didn't think you would talk to the Baron like that. I suppose, Father, it is your abbey, but you're taking too much offense at this and you're far too afraid of change. I agree. Whether it's from Luther or someone else, reform is coming to the church, you had better accept it. things have to change. They can't just be set in stone forever. What? Neither you nor Martin Luther dictate change to the Holy Church on their whim. This talk is beyond insulting. It's blasphemous, outrageous. How dare you? I see. I've overstepped my bounds, and I suppose I've ruined everyone's supper. My apologies. In spite of this unpleasantness, I will make good on my manuscript payment and a donation of my copy of Historia Tassiae. Well, I mean, I think Rothvogel's gonna like me more because of that, and quite frankly, I would rather have the Baron on my side than a bunch of priests. Specifically, you all. I don't think Piera really gives a shit. If you cannot accept what the future will bring, perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. Well, no need to overstay my welcome. Fathers, brothers, Andreas, good night. Yeah, I mean, I would rather have the Baron on my side. I don't really like either of them, so if I'm gonna choose one, I'm gonna choose the one with more power. Why, Andreas? Why did you engage him? I expect better of you. Now then, I must ask you to leave so I can speak to the brothers. In chapter privately. Brother Piero, please accompany Andreas out. Well, I mean, I do think, it's interesting to talk about. I mean, I do kind of agree that, you know, you should be able to talk about these things without feeling like it's endangering you. You know? We can have a good, wholesome little talk / debate about it. I don't see the problem. I will take my leave as well. Good night. I do kind of agree with what the Jester was saying there. Wasn't the most prudent thing, but don't worry about Father Gernot and the Baron. Sure, it will all be fine by morning. SCPR is cool. Hope Father Abbot can see that the Baron's heart is in the right place, even if he picked the wrong time to express himself. I think the Baron should apologize if he wants to be forgiven. That seems unlikely. Maybe so, but we must never lose hope. In any case, I do hope the Baron respects the Abbot's wishes for the rest of his stay, for everyone's sake. Brother Piero, what do you think of Martin Luther's ideas? Ha, that is for younger and wiser men than me to decide. I am just a monk, thank God. Good night, my son. See, Piero's cool, simple, not difficult. I like Piero. Time for nap. A few more pages, an awkward supper. I should get some sleep. That we should. Journal. Supper ended badly. An argument erupted between the Baron and the Abbot. Hopefully it will all get worked out in the morning. I should head back to my room at the Gertner's and get some sleep. That sounds like a fine idea to me. Alrighty, we'll see where things go from here. Definitely seems like the Abbot is terrified of change, quite frankly. So, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lamp still burning in the guest house. Lawrence must still be awake. I wonder how he's doing. What was he thinking? He's a Baron, but he couldn't have expected that to go well. Storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. Poor night for stargazing. I should get back to the Gertner's. Or I can go see what Lawrence is up to. I'm kind of interested in seeing what Lawrence is up to. Apparently we can't go in there. Poor night for stargazing. Are you doing some occult shit, Baron? With the rain? I can't get in there, so... Makes sense I can't just barge in on a Baron. Huh. Ooh. Gah. What in the world was that a ghost? I thought that was somebody jumping from there to there, but was that what? Are you alright, Master Maler? I believe that I may have just seen the physical manifestation of a spirit. The ghost. Yes? Could be a Roman, maybe even an old pagan. Wouldn't be the first time people have seen ghosts around these parts. Interesting. Well, I think I found Johann's last lost sheep. Going to head home. Take care, Master Maler. I will. Thank you, Till. a ghost, just straight up. Iris is beautiful. What is this? Figures in the shrine to St. Christopher are quite nice. Okay, so, yeah, we can go back to the forest. Which way am I actually going here? We are currently here. There's the charcoal burner. Yeah. Franz, John Bauer, Gertner Farm. So that's where I need to go. All the way over there. Should I explore town a little bit? There's a few different places I can go. I mean, we haven't been to, like, the Shrine of St. Satia. Look at the owl! Oh, the owl is adorable. Yeah, let's go check out the shrine. I mean, why not, right? We've learned about you now. Carving of St. Satia. Looks quite old. Nothing to do with it, it seems. Anything else over here? No? Okay. Well, I mean, I feel the need to explore a little bit. If we have the opportunity here, so... The waterfall. That's gonna take me down close to the old salt mine, it seems. Hello. Rotten and full of bugs. No wonder Otto hasn't split it up. Waterfall must flow down from the snow melt in the mountains above the abbey. Look at the pretty owly boy. I love owls. The soil in these woods is rich and moist. It would be an excellent place to forage for mushrooms once I have some free time. Okay, old salt mine. Okay, forage for mushrooms in the forest. Should I feel like I should make note of that, right? Like, maybe that's something I'll be able to do at some point. If I have some free time, come over here and get mushrooms. Forage... mushrooms. There we go. Added to the old notes here. Okay, here's the old salt mine. Tassing's old salt mine. The town made money before the Imperial Road opened up. Also called the Via Imperi, the Imperial Road links Venice in the south with Stettin on the Baltic Sea in the north. Passes through Verona, Innsbruck, Nuremberg, and many other cities along the way. Also brings thousands of travelers to Tassing and Kiersau every year. Where's the Silk Road? I used to know a lot about the Silk Road, not anymore. Alrighty. Up we go. And yeah, I guess we can just get out of here. The fireflies are very pretty. We like those. Alright, so now that we're back over here... So, I can check out the charcoal burner. Yeah, Smokey's home. Really, the charcoal burner's name is Smokey. Really. How original. Most of this felling is for the Abbey's renovations and firewood. This town can only gather sticks. Church and Druckers. Ah, no. Oh? Pale horse, still on the floor. Let's remain silent for right now. Ooh? Matins, monastic hour corresponding to 2 a.m. It is used for night prayer. Matins, the pale horse, death. Amalie? What are you talking about? Sister, listen to my voice. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yes. This is so beautiful, this music. Yes, Father. I hear you. Am I here? Is this now? Yes, you are with us, and this is now. I apologize, Andreas. I imagine this must have been quite alarming. Is she alright? She is, yes. Sister Amalie is a mystic, gifted with visions when God sees fit to give her one. The pale horse is coming, death. Some are more frightening than others. What is she doing here? Does she live in the church? She lives there, yes. I'm a little surprised you haven't noticed her before. If you came to Mass more often, you would see that I give her communion through a window in her cell. Her cell? She's an anchorist? Anchoress? A religious hermit so devoted to God that she has enclosed herself in a cell next to the church. I see. Yeah. She is dead to the world, continues a life of prayer and religious contemplation. And sometimes, ever so rarely, she receives great and terrible visions. Is she local to Tassing, or was she a nun at Kiersau? Neither. She came here from a Benedictine abbey in Lower Bavaria after it burned down. I am her confessor and caretaker. Many encresses are not literate. I write down her visions to help interpret them. I thought all of the monks and nuns at Kiersau could read, even poor brother Volkbert. Yep. There you are. Thank you, Father Thomas. I must rest now. Oh, you rewrote it in a different script, yeah. Of course, sister. It sounds like she is in a great deal of pain. She is. She feels a pain that is both physical and spiritual. Her spiritual pain comes from her revelations. They come and go. I try to adjust them as best I can. Physical pain comes from a deformity in her spine and aching in her joints. I know of no cure for that, save prayer to the Almighty. Sister Amalie was saying she had a vision of death. Could someone be in danger? Oh, no, don't rush to judgment. Her visions are divine and powerful. They could have many meanings. Some of her revelations take years to comprehend. Some may never be understood at all, as God wills it. I'm wondering if it's the death of a person, or is it like more of a symbolic death, like a death of the town, a death of the abbey, because, you know, we're having problems with funding and stuff. I don't know. Still, the argument at dinner was quite troubling. Perhaps that has cast a shadow over our thoughts. Now then, the good sister appears to have fallen back to sleep. Must prepare for bed myself. Good night, Andreas. Good night, Father. Maybe the death of the old ways of church. You know, maybe that's what the death is. The pale horse is coming to, you know, do away with the old ways. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Alright, well, I think that's probably a pretty good point to go ahead and end things off, because yes, the game did just save, so... I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Pentiment, and I'll see you next time for some more.